Coming at you live from a shady Manhattan studio, it's Disgraceful, featuring your gracious ginger host.
Hey, watch yourself. Only I can say that.
Okay, boss, whatever you say. You pay my bills. Give it up for Grace O'Malley.
Alrighty, Natasha, thank you so much for being here.
It's great to be here.
Thank you so much. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a nervous wreck. I am a very huge fan, and I'm trying to play it very, very cool. So I'm super stoked to have you on.
Well, you seem really cool and casual, and I think I like you.
I'm nailing it.
You really are.
Okay, good, cool. This is listen. I'm learning, and we're gonna get how we go. I think I'm gonna start off with a little segment that we have here on Disgraceful. It's I used to have a podcast, and I had a co-host, and now I'm looking for a new co-host.
Okay.
And I'd like to ask you if you would be interested in being a new co-host, and if I could ask you a couple of questions to see if we're a good fit.
Why not?
All right, let's do it.
I don't know that I would have the bandwidth for this job, but I would definitely play along.
Okay, all right, cool.
And who knows? Maybe I could quit everything else.
Yeah, I mean, you are a very, very busy, successful young woman, and you've got
very
kids
young.
and a husband. Yes, of course.
I'm incredibly young, and I have one child who's also very young.
7 years old. You guys are like twins, right? You're like Irish twins. You're 8, she's 7.
Yeah. We're the same age. Okay, how can I be your co-host?
Sometimes in two people's scenarios, there's a devil and an angel in a dynamic. Which one did you think you'd be between the two of us?
Oh, I feel like you're definitely nicer than me.
You think so?
Yeah.
I could see it. But listen, we don't know each other all that well, so I think we'd have to fight for that devil position.
Oh, you want to be the devil?
No, you can do that. I think you would play that actually a lot better now that I think about it fully.
I've tried to explain to my daughter that my casting is like evil. I'm like, I want to be like evil,
Yeah.
And so like we'll be watching something and she's like, you're like this, Mom, right? Like Maleficent. And I'm like, yeah.
How did I know you were going to say Maleficent?
Well, she's 7. So
Yeah,
that's what they like.
Kind of hits. We went to Disney yesterday for my sister's birthday. Disney adults are something else. Where do you fall on that?
Oh, I think it's hilarious.
I think it's great
that they go there, and so much of their identity is built around this adult baby thing. Like I personally hate Disneyland. Mm-hmm. They did you get your retinal scan?
I think we did. I think I just willy-nilly said, yeah, of course. That sounds like a great idea.
Why is there a retinal scan?
Because they work hand in hand with the TSA, I think.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Because that TSA, they're scanning your eyes now, too.
I'm just like floored. And we have friends who go there like 3 times a year with their children.
Oh, wow.
And the girl I was with, she's an adult, and she was like, isn't the castle beautiful? I'm like,
a little small for my liking.
yeah. Like, no, I've seen an actual beautiful house. Like, I don't think that Disney castle is beautiful.
I think it's a prop, and why are we glorifying the monarchy?
Exactly.
I did see, it was, I think they have what you would call mental illness. Because I did see someone, they had like a light show last night, and somebody did start bawling their eyes out when it started. So
that is bizarre.
Yeah, like a 40-year-old man.
He was crying because of the laser show at Disneyland.
It was a tough watch. It was a tough watch for sure. I don't know.
Well, you're the one who went there.
For her birthday. She had never been here before. So this is when in Rome kind of thing we had to do it.
I tell my husband he has to take her. I'm not doing it. My husband was so into taking my daughter to Disneyland. He wanted her to be able to ride all these rides, and she wasn't tall enough. Mm-hmm. So he ordered her like Skechers, like high heels.
Awesome.
Like
high heels,
or not high heels, but like 2-inch platforms.
Yeah. I love that because not only are you taking a risk on your child's life, but you're also trying to make their best day the best.
I guess.
So you might have lost your daughter, but at least she was having a blast on a coaster.
Well, if I was single parenting, I would definitely. She would not know about Disneyland.
Yeah, you'd have to keep that a big secret.
I would.
Yeah,
she doesn't know about Legoland. I told my husband, you do not tell her about that.
I think that's a fair compromise because that sounds like hell.
Not going to Legoland.
And imagine like you're trying to spend like a day off with your kid and you just keep stepping on Legos. It's like purgatory.
That is the life of a mother, Grace.
Oh wow, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Did you always want to be a mom?
No.
Do you have one of those bastard children, or you did it the right way?
Well, I did it the way that a lot of people do it. in a doctor's office in Culver City. I froze my eggs.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But I froze my eggs because I was like, oh, who knows? Something could happen.
Yeah.
You have to freeze them by the time you're 38.
Is that the time?
That's what
Okay.
the doctors say. That's when you should really be like getting serious about checking the levels. And then I met my husband and I was like, oh, this guy would be a really good dad because I was, raised by a single mom. So that doesn't really make you want to have a kid.
Yeah.
But then when I met him and he was so into it, but anyway, I'm so glad I did. And I'm trying to not urge everyone I know to have a child, but it's pretty amazing and makes everything else seem pretty stupid.
Do you believe in the idea that like once you have your sweet baby girl that it changes you for the better?
Well, your values certainly shift,
Yeah.
and it makes it really hard to, you just want to be around them because they're these like cute little angels who don't know who Trump is.
Yeah.
And she's like one of the only people I know who isn't addicted to a device.
Oh, that's huge too.
And you just have these little like earthling magical beings and it's coming.
Yeah.
But the more I can slow it down in terms of like technology and just having her disappear into being forever elsewhere like everybody else.
Yeah.
So it's just special.
I think that's a beautiful thing to try to keep them away from technology as soon as you can.
Well, I have her at this like school, and I realized that because it's like a private school, kind of like a Waldorf-based school. Do you know about that?
No.
It's very like the curriculum is very tradwife.
Okay,
Like they
all right.
learn gardening, they learn cooking,
They learn to stay in the kitchen as a young lady.
they learn calligraphy to
Oh,
like
wow.
write thank you letters.
That's a lost art, and it's not even an art. It's just something that people should know.
They learn woodwinds. It's very they're planting seeds and
Like when you're that young, these are like really great things. Like rather than just like that block is red. Like you're learning like life
well,
things.
that's more like
I don't
when
know
you're
how to
two,
teach it.
Grace.
But for me, I stayed back quite a few years. I had what they called troubles.
Did you?
No, but I feel like I could have benefited if I did.
I feel like you were really loved by your parents. I'm feeling this from you.
100%. I was the first child. I actually was talking about yesterday at Disneyland. I had so much love, and also at the same time, I maybe too much because I had too much confidence. Like I radiated confidence, and thank God for bullying. Knocked me
You
down.
were bullied?
Yeah, of course. But thank God, because I would have been that person that you can't stand that's just like too confident, You ever meet somebody who's too confident? It's like that person should really probably knock it down a few notches. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
Of course.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
a
yeah.
comedian.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, it's usually fake. It's usually people are like
Yeah.
making up for something.
No, I was like, you know what it took? It took my mom signed me up for a drama club after school, and she came to the rehearsal, and as it turned out, it was actually a special needs drama club.
Stop it.
Knocked me down a few blocks. Yeah, that was good too. On top of the bullying, I liked it a lot.
You were the one person without special needs.
I was
the
a
drama
goddamn
club?
star.
You were like the Angelina Jolie of like
I was like, Mom, you
our town.
have to come see this. I am the best. It is so good. I'm going to be on Broadway. And she came and saw it. She said, sorry, you're never going back there again. And then later to find out it was for special needs kids.
Wow.
So
What age did you start being bullied?
that's about middle school.
Okay.
You'd think you're the only one with tits, and you think that'd be a good thing, but for some reason they saw it as a bad thing. I don't know.
You were bullied because of your tits? That does not count.
It was
You had like
it was that's where it started. It was the teachers started to bully me. They said I couldn't wear V-cut shirts to school. And that
Really?
yeah. And I got kicked out of student council for that. Then I had like nowhere to go.
was
so I tried
that
to
pre-body shaming?
Oh yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, it would have been on the local news if it were now. Child with 2 breastises kicked out of student council. So, but I don't know. Like one of the girls, I was the only one who showed up to her birthday party. I don't know if she ended up swinging on me in between classes. It was physical. It was fun. I learned to like it though.
You got beat up?
Yeah. I've been jumped a couple times. Have you ever been in a fight?
I was in a fight in middle school.
Yeah.
I got books thrown at my head.
Oh, rats.
And yeah.
How did that unfold?
Well, this girl, people just thought I was annoying. I
Yeah,
guess.
you can't pinpoint it, right?
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah. You're just annoying. Like, one girl jumped me another time on Crazy Hat Day, and when she was all done, I didn't fight back. I wanted to go to private school, but I didn't know we couldn't afford it. And when she was all done, I said, well, why did you do that? She was like, I don't like you. I was like, oh, that's fair, I suppose.
I mean, I remember this girl told me they used to make fun of me because I would wear these like John Fluvog shoes. I mean, not unlike what I'm wearing now, like big black chunky shoes.
Sick.
And this girl would throw books at my head. And finally, like, her mom came, my mom came. We all sat down in the principal's office. And I stood up and I said, I just want to be able to go to school without having books thrown at my head and be able to wear the shoes I want to wear. And the girl's mom goes, well, your shoes are ugly.
Oh, apple and the tree. It doesn't go far. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Was your mom, your mom was a single mom. Did she have a few words with that mother, or would she
no, we
play
were
nice?
scared of her.
Okay, yeah.
And then the daughter was pregnant.
Oh,
and then
so you can't throw books back.
No, exactly.
That's brutal.
That was like one of the reasons why I didn't. And then the funniest part was when my mom was leaving the school. We were walking down the hallway, and the girl said to my mom, "What are you looking at, bitch?"
Oh, I know just the type. Yeah.
And my mom was so scared.
Well, yeah, that's petrifying. A child impregnated person is yelling, "What are you looking at, bitch?"
Yes, to my mother.
Yeah.
That's why my daughter's in private school.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why she's being one with nature.
I know, but it's so hard because you really, as a mom, as a parent, you want so much to overcorrect all the terrible things that happen to you. But at the same time, like, I'm happy with my life, and I feel like my life is really great and I'm successful. And it's like, maybe that wouldn't have happened if I wouldn't have had to, stick up for myself.
Be a little scrappy, yeah. I do think I've heard before, and this is somebody I know that went to college had told me this, that, was it you, Nora? Somebody told me that you try to reverse the cycle that you're in so much that you make a new cycle. And like it's like you try to correct, and then the cycle just keeps on going.
It's really hard. I'm trying to correct the cycle I have right now, which is saying yes to my child all the time and not making her do things she doesn't want to do because I don't want her to ever experience pain.
Yeah.
Because it makes me so sad when she's upset, and it's so easy to just kind of fawn over your child. And having an only child, like, I'll be brushing her hair and my husband will be putting on her shoes, and
like, oh, you're a princess.
She can do all these things herself.
Yeah.
And it's just really we all have our own challenges.
And nobody tells you how to parent. It's tricky.
I mean, I want to give her sushi every night, and but see, that's the thing too. That's another thing. I've given her so much great food to try to expand her palate.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm from the Midwest and I ate beefaroni till I was 39. Like, no one ever gave me anything.
Yeah.
So I've given her so much stuff that, like, every teacher is like, she won't eat lunch. What kind of foods does she like? And I'm like, well, she likes really nice restaurant food.
She's into the finer things. Wait, don't you have a chef? This is private, I thought.
Yeah. She likes quail eggs and she likes caviar. And,
oh, my God.
It is like,
awesome.
It's a challenge, and that she's like already sick of sushi. Like, I never even had sushi,
That's like you go home like, beefaroni again. She's like, omakase again.
That's funny.
She's just, a little different. That's funny.
Are you still interviewing me to be your sidekick? Did I get the part?
Oh, that's an absolute. I've got a few more questions here. Would you say your on-air personality is the same as your off-air personality?
I would say off-air, I'm probably even more chill. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to like work to insert myself.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good way to be. Have you always been like that?
No, I think when I moved to Los Angeles, I was very desperate. Mm-hmm. I had come from New York.
Yeah.
Well, by way of Illinois.
Did you do Chicago?
No.
No, you just went right to New York?
I went right to New York. Big failure there.
How long were you in New York?
5 years.
Okay.
I went to school. I went to Stella Adler Conservatory, and I got a degree in theater criticism from Hunter College.
Oh, wow.
And so.
Everybody's a critic.
I mean, it's kind of cool though
is
because
sick.
it actually really trained my mind for comedy.
Yeah.
Because comedy is just critiquing, really. Well, at least the
Totally.
kind of comedy I do.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if you don't want to ever get better, then you don't critique. So,
You're right.
yeah. And that's, those are the people who don't really particularly make it, I'd say. Do you,
Oh, but I'm okay with you being in the spotlight. Is that what you're getting at? Am I going to step on your...
Oh, no, I'm not like that. No, I would really like, I just want to, I'm trying to get to know you, really, truly.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright.
Here's a good one. If I were to run a background check, would I find anything juicy?
No, unfortunately. Oh, wait, hold on. Yes, no, I did work in a brothel in Australia, but I answered phones.
Okay. All right. Scheduling and all that jazz?
Scheduling, cleaning towels. That was really disgusting.
Wow. Okay. So a pimp's assistant.
I was kind of a pimp. I mean, I did not last long, but I was in Australia and it was the only job that had, it was like the highest hourly rate.
Wow. That's what. So how long were you in Australia?
6 months.
6 months. And did you?
It was for love.
For love.
I fell in love with a con artist.
Oh, wow. I feel like that's always like a pivotal point in a woman's life.
It really is.
Yeah.
And honestly, it happened when I was 23. And it was like maybe like my first big heartbreak.
Mm-hmm.
But it made me so happy that it happened the way it did because how many people does that happen to when they're like 40 and then it's like it's over? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like you've had a kid with them. Like I just felt like I was so young to be experiencing this. And obviously it was very intense at the time. But, you know, I'm just glad because then I never fell for someone. I mean, he literally like would shoplift potatoes. Like I would be like, you have, like he was a very small time con artist.
It's like petty theft.
Yeah, it was like petty theft. Or like we would be like at a restaurant in Australia and then he'd be like, okay, let's go. And I'd be like, we have not paid.
Oh, no.
And he's like, we're leaving Wiener. He would call me Wiener.
Wiener.
Well, because
That's a term of endearment.
it was, but also he was old. He was like, well, this isn't
No.
old to me now. He was 43, but I was like 23 at the time.
Oh, yeah. No,
So
I
he was
pictured
like,
the older thing
yeah,
of it
he was
all.
old and it was just awful. But it was definitely a journey.
Wow. And it's good to learn early on, for sure, 100%. Did you ever fall for anyone of the criminal aspect after that?
No, it made
No.
me so cynical,
Yeah.
you know, because it was, I couldn't believe that was happening. And then, I mean, the way it went down was so terrible because I just remember I went there under the guise of like a student exchange because I was going to Illinois State University.
Oh,
that was
okay.
before I got to New York.
Gotcha.
And so I was like, let me get out of here. So I had all this money from the school to go to Australia for like an exchange program. And then one day I was at the guy's house and the doorbell rings and he's like, Wiener, I need you to put all that cash in the mailbox right now.
Like, and you're 23, like, this is like a movie.
I know. And I was like, I went downstairs and he was getting beat up
Oh,
by
wow.
some dude and they took his Rolex and then afterwards and I gave them all my money. It wasn't that, it was like $1,200, but it was like
That is all your money.
that was all my money. And then afterwards I was like, why did I have to give you this money? And he basically got this other girl pregnant. And he's like, Lucy is a crazy liar and her brother just took my Rolex. And I mean, I just believed anything he said.
Lucy never existed. He was
no,
in a
she
mob.
She did, but like I don't know where all my money just went to her, I guess. To her abortion. That's what it was.
Oh, she was getting an abortion.
It was a
Well,
long time ago. I
so
forgot
it
the
was-
details.
I guess it was a good thing after all. It depends how you look at it.
Right. So that's like the
Lucy's life would have been hell without you. It sounds
Oh my
like.
God, I saved Lucy from
Like,
having a baby with that guy.
Truly and honestly, if you ever look at it like that.
I never even thought of
I like
that.
the happy
Grace.
outlook of it all.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So
no.
you might find something like that, but
Yeah.
no, I've never been arrested or anything.
Well, that's even better.
Have you?
I fake ID.
Oh, I had a fake ID, but I never got caught.
Oh, that's good.
What was it? It was Minerva Santiago.
That's worse than the one they have on Superbad. That is terrible.
And I didn't get caught.
I guess because people were like ashamed to try to pronounce it.
I don't
Maybe.
know what the situation was. I actually feel like if I had a superpower, it's getting into bars and clubs. Like I was
Yeah.
always able to do that my whole life, get to the front of the line.
Oh yeah, you walk in with confidence.
But it doesn't extend beyond that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like
It's like a niche,
club.
yeah, like a niche time in life where you could get like a nightclub, bar, and what else would you try
I
to
snuck
sneak
into
into?
a few operas, like when I was in Europe.
Oh, that's
Because I'm short, you know, I'm so small that like if I didn't have the money to see it, I just kind of like slipped in.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've done that.
And so how much time did you spend in Europe?
Oh, I've spent many
of time.
Many of times.
You sound like your daughter.
And
like, Europe, schmurrup.
well, you know what's funny is I took her to Paris and she keeps asking to go back. And she's like, I want to go back to that hotel we stayed at. And she's like, is it going to be as good as that hotel that had the little cookies? And it was basically Versailles. And that is where she wants to go. Because they have like this little hotel that's like where I guess the Minister of Finance used to sleep.
Yes, the Minister of Finance. I don't even know what that means.
Well, it's in Versailles. It's like you can actually spend the night at Marie Antoinette's like on her property, and then you get access to like a golf cart. But I did it for one night.
Yeah.
And my daughter has not stopped talking about it.
The standard is set.
But yeah, the standard's set. And so now she's just kind of like, we'll go to a regular hotel, and she's just kind of like, oh,
Pish posh.
Yeah.
I picture your daughter as Eloise.
That is so funny because she is part that, but she's also part like country, future trad wife,
Oh, yeah, no. She's now she's Hannah Montana. She's Miley Cyrus and Hannah Montana. She gets the best of both worlds.
That is so funny. That is kind of what she is. She also really wants to be a pop star, so I have played her a lot of. I kind of like Miley.
I love Miley. Miley rocks. She could do no wrong in my eyes.
Yeah.
I'm a big Miley fan.
And I was playing my daughter, like she's really into being a pop star, so I was like trying to play her different people, and then I was playing her Stevie Nicks, and I was like, yeah, a lot of people try to imitate her, and my daughter listened to Stevie Nicks, and she's like, Mom, I don't think she's that good.
And
but I see why she thinks that, because it's not like a modern sound. Like, now they just do a different sound.
I'm curious to see what she thinks in 10 years.
Exactly.
I think when you're 17, you find Stevie Nicks and you're like, oh, she had it going on.
Right.
And that's when you start to realize.
Probably she was a little too young for that.
What's her favorite now?
Oh, you know.
Who shall not be named? Yes. Okay.
It's the only thing she wants.
Of course. It's all anyone wants all the time at every hour of the day.
She's asked she goes, Mom, do you think maybe, because she doesn't know about iPads or any, or she knows about iPads, but she doesn't have one.
Yeah.
She's like, Mom, do you think there's like something that you could get me that I could just play some music on?
Oh my God. Yes, I've got the perfect thing for you. This is called a Walkman.
Well, I went on eBay and got her like a 2021 iPod.
Oh, perfect. They're still cooking those out?
Well, you can buy it, like used one.
Oh, gotcha,
they've definitely stopped making them.
Yeah.
In like, I think 2023 they stopped making them. I think a Nano or something.
Oh, those rocks. Those were my favorite.
I know. It is kind of nice because like who wouldn't want something it's like that doesn't have like multiple distractions built into it.
Yeah.
Because I want something for her where she can just like pick the song she wants and play it.
Yeah.
And I think there's like a 2023 iPod that actually is Bluetooth too, so you don't have to have like the cord.
That's huge. I think those will come back around.
They should.
Because I think people are looking to stop doom scrolling all the time.
Obviously. I mean, I cannot look at my phone without an hilarious announcement.
Oh my God, it's always something.
It's like, why would you not want that,
I feel like I just like all day, every day, I'm just like, are we for real with this? And but I'm also tuned in and I can't look away, so...
Well, you're young, you know. It's like you're used to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I do remember a time I was talking about this recently of when my mom got Facebook, and that's when she stopped paying attention to me. Yeah, but like not like fully.
That is horrible.
Not fully stopping. Like she always like would pay attention, but I didn't get like her at all hours of the day. There would be like Facebook time, and I'd be like, hello. Facebook time, I hate Facebook time.
Wait, your mom said it's Facebook time?
No, but like in my head, I was like, oh, she's on Facebook. And this is where she can't multitask right now.
But she would probably be looking at it on a computer, right?
She was on a laptop. And
so didn't you just kind of think she was doing her work?
She's a bartender. So I was like, you just care more about the people you went to high school with than you do about me. What the hell is going on?
Well, Facebook's its own thing. I've never been into Facebook.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't know what... Like, my husband still is, like, getting updates on everyone he went to middle school with.
Those are fun. They can be fun because especially, like, wouldn't you like to check in on Miss Book Thrower? see what she's up to. I'm sure things aren't all that great.
Yeah, but do I need to donate to, whoever's like doing a GoFundMe for their home birth? I mean, it's like always something dramatic.
You can just quietly scroll and then shut.
Don't they know
the
if you
computer.
read it or something?
No, that's the best part.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, just don't like anything.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
If anything, it's if you're feeling down, Facebook is a good scroll.
I see.
You'll feel better about yourself.
But then isn't it like your aunts all mixed into it too? Like,
yeah, I feel like they're just texting the good word of either the Lord or Trump, and so that's where I stay away.
I see.
Yeah.
Right, because it's not so much about your algorithm as much as it is like who have you been in contact with your whole life.
Exactly, yeah. So it is kind of like it's a little scary.
Right. Oh, but that is a better scroll.
Yeah, it is.
See what the people are
Jesus Christ,
thinking
everyone
about.
I've ever loved and known is out of their minds.
Well, there's been mass insanity before.
Yeah.
So might be coming back.
We're back, baby. We are back. Oh, shoot. All right. We got this next segment. It's called In the Green Room. The idea of the segment is basically get to know you a little better. It's like if we were in a green room hanging after a show.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask if you have anything on your rider and how has it changed over the years?
It's funny. I have a rider and I put caviar for 2.
Love that.
No
oh my
one
God.
ever did it.
Really? Ever?
Never once.
No.
Never. Just sparkling water and fruit. Which I didn't ask for.
You're
But
like, caviar? What's a good substitution? I don't know. Give her sparkling water and fruit.
I've literally worked with comedians, though. I'll tell you who afterwards, who would just like take everything and put it in their purse, including the honey, all the pens, everything from the club. And they're like, no, this is like my grocery shopping.
Whitney Cummings just came on and said she used to do that.
It was her.
Yeah. She was like, dude, I can't afford anything. I'm just going to take it all.
She can't afford anything?
She said at the time she couldn't. That's hilarious.
She did make me think, though, that it was okay once in a while to like take a tea bag.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
But
Back to the room.
And actually, no. Well, I also had roses in my rider for a long time because I was doing a bit with them.
Okay.
But then I stopped doing the bit, but then I just liked having them there.
Yeah.
I kind of liked that the guys in charge of the club would like be like, scrounging to get roses.
I'm like, why the fuck am I going to get roses? I don't know, pal. Be a better guy. Like, if you were a better guy, you know where to find roses.
Yeah, they're always trying to find them. So that was kind of funny. And then I started to feel bad for him, so I took it off the rider.
That's really funny.
But I would like to put something on there. What do you have on yours?
I don't have one yet, so I'm curious to see what people have. I walked into one show and they were like, we got that fruit you asked for, and we didn't know what kind of chips you like, so we got all of them. And I was like, I didn't ask for any of these things. I guess someone on my team had put something. They were like, they just threw something on. They got all the chips, and I'm like, this feels gross. This feels icky to me that they frantically picked all the chips out to go get. So I don't like riders so much.
You. It's also such a weird job where like waiters are coming in trying to like get you alcohol before you do your job.
Yeah.
It's like it's the only job that's like that. Like,
and
it's
then
such a bizarre world.
It is interesting.
You
it's
can
like,
make demands before you go.
Like the only other time you kind of have it like that is when you're like at a booth at a club. Like a table at a club?
Right.
I'm like,
like
yes,
bottle
give me a
service.
bottle of... It's the only other time you can like have someone like go fetch you something, which is crazy. But yeah, I get nervous. I also feel bad over in January. I tried to do dry January. I'm a big drinker. Might have a problem. I do, actually. And I'm working on it. And so I tried to do dry January. Didn't work. I have a problem. Totally.
How many days did you get through?
I did 2 weeks strong.
That's good.
It was good.
Do you ever like, because I just did one for a month. I mean, I wouldn't call myself a big drinker, but I would say I drink daily.
Yeah, I drink daily. And
like I like to have a glass of wine every day.
And
most days.
I'm not getting drunk every day, but I've caught myself, and like with doing stand-up, I'm the only one drinking at the clubs.
Really?
Yeah. It's kind of blowing my mind. It's like everyone my age doesn't really drink, especially in New York. Which blew my mind, yeah.
Well, one thing I thought helped me is like writing myself a letter or like writing like I, Natasha Leggero, am going to do this in exchange for whatever, like maybe there's like a little kind of clarity or something specific that you want to manifest. I do feel that
that's good.
sometimes like getting rid of like a bad habit, you can like try to replace it with something more positive and give yourself an end date, and you'll feel really good after it, because I think you might find that you have a little insight. I don't know. I'm not trying to give you advice.
that totally makes sense. That's like a really great way to go about it. And
it doesn't have to be January. Like it could you could start today and say, I want to do 3 weeks.
Totally,
and I want to do it. Maybe it's also this is how you can hack the system. Do it when like, you have to look really good.
Yeah.
By a certain time.
100%.
So it's like, it's all going to work out.
I don't want to have red face.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, that's a really great way of looking at it. I recently said the same thing to Bert Kreischer, and he said, "Oh, just try to be a little bit better every day." And I was like, "That's good." He's like, "Yeah." Like the other day,
That's hilarious that you're taking not drinking advice from Bert Kreischer.
Yeah, and you know what? He had me too.
I believe that he's very compelling.
He is, because he was like, like I had 10 beers one day, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be better tomorrow, and I had 9, and I'm like, I could totally do that. But this seems more long term and probably have a better idea.
Well, especially now, since you're on the scene, you have all these things you want to accomplish. If there's something really big, maybe just say, I'm gonna try to blank.
Yeah.
See if it works, you'll feel like really powerful.
Yeah, maybe, and then oh my God, and then maybe one day I'd go sober.
Do you want to go sober?
No, I don't plan on it. Have you ever gone sober? Besides that month? Besides that month?
But I also like to smoke pot, so.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, I don't have that vice. I have every other vice but weed.
No
I'm
weed?
an uppers only gal.
Isn't weed an upper?
It's a downer for me.
Interesting.
It gives me schizophrenia.
I see.
I
get
got
two
one of
in
those
your
brains,
head.
yeah. Moving on. Was there a specific person that put the fire under your ass to get up and do stand-up?
You mean for the first time?
To get you to, either for the first time or to get you to pursue it?
To get me to pursue it, I was dating, again, an older man. I used to always date old dudes.
That's fair.
And this guy was like really old. Like I was like 26. I think he was like 50 or something.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, you should be a comedian. And I remember when he said that, I was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like just
what was your plan at the
complete
time?
rejection. To be an actress.
Yeah.
Then I saw a girl I knew, this girl Melanie Vesey, at the Comedy Store, and I had known her from acting school, and I was like, oh, you can just stand up on stage and talk?
Yeah.
Like I didn't really know what it was.
Yeah.
And then I tried it, and it just went like way better than I thought. And I just really couldn't believe people were laughing.
Yeah.
And it was such an amazing feeling, and I was kind of hooked.
So you didn't have that, like when you first started, you didn't have like that initial bomb that everyone usually has?
No, that came the second time.
Okay, yeah.
Then that was like a horrid bomb.
Yeah.
Because it was fueled with all this confidence.
Yeah.
So I thought I was going to, like I had this whole plan for the end, and I was just going to be like, thank you, everyone. You can see me at the Improv Lab October 16th. And like I had this whole, I like even booked a show so I could like announce it. And I was like, I got off stage. Like I bombed so bad. It was like at a bar, and I was, it was like sailors, and I was trying to do crowd work, and I like ended up telling them how bad they smelled. And, everyone was like, just like booing me. And
yeah, it's the opposite of thank you for your service.
it was awful.
It just reminds me of like in the 1940s, 1950s, where they had the showgirls come and perform for the military overseas.
Yeah, it was like that. It was like that. But then once I started comedy, I would say in the very early stages, someone who was very helpful was Bobby Lee.
Oh, really?
He was always around trying to like mentor comedians and give them good advice. And, he would always have this like great wisdom. Like he would say, I remember he told me, try to make them laugh before you start talking. He would just say all these like things that would make you think about comedy in all these different ways. And he would also say, you're not good until you bomb 50 times. So maybe make sure you're keeping a record of how many times you're bombing. Bombing's good. And so like trying to bomb so you could like get them out of your system, you know? And I would go up all the time.
Really?
I would like keep this like little diary, and I would make sure I was doing at least 7 shows a week. And I would like, I remember every month I would like tally how many. I have no energy. I would never do this now. But
No, this is good though.
But it was the only time in my life I ever became kind of anal retentive.
Really? Because would you consider yourself a type A or type B person?
What's type B?
Free flowing, I suppose.
I would say I'm very type B when, except for when it comes to like furniture placement.
Oh wow.
And
how are we doing?
Decor. Oh, you guys are good. I just mean my own.
Okay, all
you
right.
know, like
I thought you've been analyzing this the whole time.
but like, you know, I'm a little particular about furniture.
Okay. Just
And
furniture or
and
bedding?
interiors.
Okay.
That kind
Your
of
home.
thing. Home
Gotcha.
things and hotels
Gotcha.
and food.
Like your
I guess
daughter.
I'm actually kind of a snob.
Yeah. But that happens later in life or later in life?
Later in
yeah.
life, yeah.
That wasn't always the case.
No, because I had like, you know, a horrible shack.
Yeah.
So, and you know, but my car is a huge mess.
Okay. All right.
I think that's a good indicator of it, you know, what your personality type is your car.
I think so too.
Because the people who with kids and husbands and sharing cars who can like still keep it together,
They're a psycho.
that's it. Well, it's definitely impressive though, don't you think? Don't you love being in like a clean car? My car's never clean.
I don't know if I put trust in that.
Really?
Yeah, because if it's too clean and you have kids and like you said, sharing a car,
Yeah. It makes you suspicious.
you're running a militia over there.
Yeah,
I think.
I
I don't
hear
know.
you.
I'm not sure.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah, no, you gotta be like you have to have a human flaw somewhere.
But my husband has like the extreme of the opposite.
Yeah.
Like he does those Zen pouches.
Oh yeah.
And
Is he just huck-toing it?
the
all
world
over?
is his ashtray, yes.
Well, you could have the latter. My father does dip, and yes, and
Wait. Dip.
dip. Yeah.
And there'll be like black stuff in jars.
Mm-hmm.
And how did your mom handle that?
Oh well, on the first date, she took a sip of a McDonald's cup, and it was dip.
Oh,
I was told to stop talking about their marriage.
wait, that's interesting. Yeah, my mom does not like when I talk about her.
Yeah.
And my daughter has also asked me to never repeat. I don't even think it's occurred to her that I would talk about her on a podcast or on stage.
Yeah.
But she's asked me, like, she hates if I repeat a story to a friend.
Oh
about
really?
her.
Oh,
Yeah.
so she's gonna hate when it comes to life on a podcast.
Well, that is an interesting.
I think 10 you can sit her down. For 7, 8, 9 you can. I think you have the upper hand right now. It's like when they start going through puberty is like where it gets a little
Right.
tricky, I suppose.
Right.
Yeah. Before I ask this other question, have you ever done jokes about your mom, and what has she said, and how have you dealt with that?
Well, this is funny actually. So sometimes I will like post things, you know, like when I was on this show Dice, and my mom was texting me that she was trying to get the DVDs of it at the library, you know, and I posted something on my Instagram, like our text exchange, and there is like some spy in Rockford where whenever I make fun of my family on Instagram, they send it to her.
Oh.
Because she's not on Instagram.
Yeah, who's the spy?
I don't know. And I want to know. I have some inklings,
Is
but
it her friend Diane.
It's
I feel like her
something
name's
like
like
that.
Diane.
Someone is like feeding her. Yeah, she was not into it and very upset. And I think it's, now that I think about it, probably the reason for sometimes our months long of not talking.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, it's hard because, you know, I was reading this, or I was watching this David Sedaris masterclass, and he's like, as a writer, every single person in your life is fair game.
Yeah.
And he was even interviewing his sister about it. And he has like, not Amy, but like another one of his sisters, like who he writes about a lot, and asking her. And she's like, well, you know, I told you a few things I didn't want you to say, but people just sort of get used to it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. She does. I mean, but she's private, so I get it.
I think my mom's on the opposite end of she wishes I'd put more about her.
Oh, really?
She
your dad
she
wants
eats it up.
less.
My dad has told me, if you're gonna do jokes about me, at least be funny. I'm like, oh wow, all right. Pretty sure they're funny just because they're about you. You don't think they're funny. I think that's where the line gets crossed. But yeah, no, it's like a slippery slope when it comes to people in your life.
He sounds like comedy gold, to be
Oh,
honest.
he is classic. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to put him in. There is something there.
You should get him on the pod. No.
New career and not interested in getting canceled anytime soon. And he will be guilt of association canceled. Yeah, that is.
Wait,
kinda
what's
how it
your
goes.
old career?
Waitressing. that was what I was doing before.
I see.
But yeah, I was waitressing, then podcasting, now podcast stand up.
Yeah, podcasting is a little better than waitressing.
Yeah, it's been quite the
waitress-
switch up.
I waitressed for so many years. I just used to have like dreams about taking people's order. Like it just feels like
Oh my
it
god,
just sucks your life force. Like your creative energy is being like stolen.
1000%. And for whatever reason, in my horror nightmare dreams where I forget to put an order in, is the staff there. They're it's like they are family, and I never felt a part of the family at any of my waitressing jobs. Really, I was just like some kid that they wished wasn't around.
You had bigger things coming on the horizon.
That's what it is.
Too.
I no longer smell like tartar sauce, and that's huge. This segment is called Bombed. Do you recall the first time you were heckled negatively, and how did you handle it?
I remember performing in Atlantic City, and you know, Atlantic City has a certain climate.
Yeah, it's a tough vibe over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this guy was like, "Hey, wrap it up." He was like looking at his clock, doing this.
That's brutal.
And I was just like, because when you're starting out too, you don't really know how to respond to them. So I think I would always just try to pretend like I didn't hear it,
Yeah.
which is not good. That's not a
Yeah.
good way to deal with it. But it's hard. I mean, what's really great is getting a fan base so that there aren't people in your crowd who have no idea who you are and don't care and don't like you.
Yeah.
Oh, another woman once, I was at Caroline's on Broadway in New York, and I used to have this joke. I didn't usually open with it, but I decided to open with it because I was like going through this phase where I was like mixing all my stuff up.
Yeah.
And it was something like, they're giving out free AIDS tests at the DMV. What's worse, having to wait in line at the DMV or finding out you have AIDS or something like this. And this girl stands up and she's like, "My brother died of AIDS,"
Like, oh,
in the
God.
front row.
Jesus Christ.
And I was like, I'm sorry, ma'am.
So which one's worse?
But then I had like 45 minutes left, so
Oh,
that was
fuck.
really bad.
And did she stay for the rest of the set?
No, she walked out. And I think I somehow got everyone to cheer her leaving, but it was definitely a challenge.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Did you respond at all, or?
I think I was very apologetic because obviously, she, for all I know, she came to the comedy club to forget about it.
Yeah, totally.
And, it's hard. It's hard because comedians, sometimes we're very jaded and, we're doing this because we can't take anything seriously.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So much serious things have happened to us that we, we're immune. And so we're just kind of like throwing shit out there. So
Yeah. I commend you for taking a step back and just being, hey, my bad, because it's hard, because you could have leaned into it and then you're just a fucking asshole. So it's a slippery slope there.
yeah, it's hard.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to move on. Is there a joke from your first set that you think wouldn't get a laugh now?
I mean, none of it would.
No.
I doubt it.
Really?
I was like making fun of slang. I think there's some things in my first set that might get me canceled.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, no, I mean, that's just time.
Right.
That has nothing to do with you. That's time and the way things evolve.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly don't remember much of it. It'd be fun to watch. I think I have a VHS tape lying around somewhere.
You do?
And I also remember I wanted to like dress up in this like red dress with like this like leather cap.
You're always dressed to the nines. That's I
Well,
appreciate
that
that.
happened later.
Yeah.
Because like I had this like smart instinct after, for my first set to like dress very like just blend in. Because I was like, if I bomb, I don't want to be bombing in like a leather hat.
But that's fair.
Right?
That's fair.
So that, I just tried to keep it real
Yeah.
basic.
That's fair. Oh, how do you manage work and romantic relationships in your career as you tour? You have a podcast with your husband. You guys ever like get in a little bit of like a squabble and then you can't record or?
Well, so our podcast, the Endless Honeymoon podcast, my husband and I do together, and people will call in and ask for relationship advice. And, he's been in AA for 20 years and I've, dated 50-year-olds. So,
Con artists in Australia.
So we just have a lot of experience. But sometimes I'll use the podcast as a way to sort of hijack him with something.
Oh, that's fun. I like that. And
Yeah.
then he's on the spot and
then
has
he's
to...
on the spot, and then we'll end up, posting it, and then everyone agrees with me, and it's usually
That's better than couples therapy.
way better.
Oh my God. And it's good to get ahead of it.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
I'm so glad that it's a resource for me now.
So what is your demographic on that podcast? Is it mostly women or a mix?
I would say it's mostly 30-year-old women who are trying to figure out if the guy that ghosted them might secretly like them. And I have to tell them no.
Yeah, that's got to be hard for them to hear.
I mean,
especially coming from your mouth. It's so honest and like to the point. I'd be heartbroken.
It's rough out there right now.
It is, and
I think you have to be real with people because I mean, it's like never before have men had so many options. They can just pick and choose, and they're at men and women often they're just at different levels with wanting a relationship, wanting to hook up. I think a lot of the men in LA secretly think that they're gonna maybe date Emma Stone at some point, or they're like holding out for like someone they're never gonna get.
You'll do for now till I get my A-list.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of men have like made it so that, I mean, I know like 50-year-old men who have like made their cutoff point 29.
Jesus Christ.
And so it's like there's so many like beautiful, hot, interesting, charming women who aren't even like getting, but then it's like, why would they want to date someone who's
looking for a little hot little thing?
The thing too is, I think girls also feel like, oh, I'm getting old. They all want young people. But it's like they want young people not because they're so much hotter. It's because young people are more impressed with them.
Yeah.
If you've done like one indie film that you helped produce, like a 23-year-old thinks you're like
that's Scorsese.
really successful.
That's really funny.
Whereas like I'm like, oh, okay, well, how do you make your money?
Like sick. That must you have a trust fund. You must have a trust fund.
Right. So I would say the demographic is mostly female though.
So that's huge for your case.
Oh yes, that is probably why they agree with me.
Huge.
But we have a lot of couples, and it's international.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of different types. Who do you hope to speak to on this podcast?
This isn't very feminist of me, but I'm hoping to get a little bit more of a male audience.
Really?
My shows feel like a sleepover, which is awesome. It's a slumber party with all the lady gals, and I love that. But all my openers get to go home and go fuck somebody, and it's just a sea full of vagina. So if with this podcast I could reach a male a little bit, everybody wants 50-50.
Yeah.
And mine is 97% women.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So which is funny.
I prefer speaking to women. I mean, I'm on 3 text chains that I contribute to a lot, and two of them were all women. But recently a man has come into the mix on both of them.
Oh, it's off in the vibe up.
Yeah. It's really like off now. And so
straight man or gay man?
Straight.
Okay, that's a whole pivot. You need a new group.
I know.
The group with him and the group without him. That's kind of how it goes.
Yeah, it really did kind of like ruin definitely I don't want to talk to these chains anymore.
It kind of fucked everything up.
It did.
That's fair. Just off the top of my head, you lived in New York, you lived in LA, and you do you're great with relationship advice. Which one was better for dating?
Oh, I think New York is way better for dating.
Yeah.
Well, because you're out being seen.
Yeah, that's true.
To me, And my husband will always make fun of me because I'm always giving the advice like, get a Village Voice, see what's going on. He's like, you sound like an old lady. But I'm like,
what is a Village
well,
Voice?
a Village Voice. Well, you can do it online now, but it used to be when I lived in New York. But and anything that has a calendar section, like where are the cool things that where you have things that you're interested in, whether it be a opening to a movie, maybe the director's coming to speak, an art exhibit that you're into.
There's so much fun shit there.
Antiques at the farmer's market, like wherever you can go, where like the things that you're interested in and walk around and like actually sense people's vibes.
Yeah.
I mean, how can that not be the future? We already saw that it doesn't work to just like scroll and text with some random dude for 5 days until maybe he asks you out for a coffee, but probably doesn't.
Yeah.
That doesn't work either.
Reschedules, probably.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of rescheduling going on. Cold feet.
Do you like do a dinner date for the first date?
I have been on 3 dates. I have never had a boyfriend. I'm 26 years old.
You never had a boyfriend?
I stand with all the ladies who haven't.
That's so cute.
Just like not like something that like really. Of course I would love, but I haven't had the opportunity thus far. So 3 dates. They were all. I think they just wanted to get drinks. I offered to get food. And they were like, no, let's just do drinks. And I was like, I'm starving. I like fasted all day. And so now I'm going to get drunk. But yeah.
I've never asked a guy out. And I do feel like that's something that I've noticed that younger people will do. And I think that's cool.
I want people to do that because in high school, I asked a sophomore to my junior prom, and he said, "Oh, I have a basketball tournament, sorry." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And he ended up going with one of my friends. Yeah, so that
Sorry,
stunk.
Grace.
No, it's all good. But you know what I did recently? There's these meetups where you go and it's all single people.
Cool.
And it's kind of like speed dating, but not really. You just kind of talk to everybody casually, drink, and then at the end of the night, after filling out a survey, we got like a 3, 2, 1 countdown, and you walk. Like your phone tracks you to the person that you match with. And like you'd have to walk to them.
That's cool.
It was super cool. If it were the type of fellas who signed up for that are not my type of fellas. The guys
right,
that
like
are,
what was the theme? Like how did they get people there?
They always have so many, they said they always have so many cool, successful young women. But it's like pulling teeth trying to get the guys to come because it's not cool.
Right.
Because if you told, like, I feel like I can picture, like, if one of my guy friends were like, yeah, I'm going to go do this date and thing, they'd be like, that's weird.
Well, guys don't need to do it.
Yeah, they don't need to do it
because they
either.
just have like this like enormous selection.
Yeah.
Like that is, they're not supposed to have that without doing any work.
Yeah, 1000%.
It used to be they at least would have to do some work for it.
Open a door.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Right.
I would take this jumpsuit off right now if somebody opened a door for me. So the bar is low.
You just want a door open. Well, so did you match with anyone at the meetup?
Yeah. I turned to another girl I met there, and she was like, "Hey, you having fun?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Just go to the bathroom." I was like, "Yes," and we just never came. We never went back. We did. It was
you
that
made a
kind
friend.
of vibe. Yeah, we made friends.
That's
it was
cool.
And then another thing I did was I went on a live dating show where you're blindfolded. They're supposed to play matchmaker with you. And they made me kiss them on stage. I said I was open to it beforehand, but as soon as it happened, of course, I was like, oh, I don't want to do this. A bunch of people watching. I did end up kissing him on stage and taking the blindfold off. And it was just, it was no Taylor Swift Sparks Fly,
Right.
Yeah. Sorry. That was a ramble. You ever do anything like a speed dating kind of thing or anything like that?
I feel like I was married like right before online dating. Like,
oh, that's huge.
I mean, of course there was, eHarmony and a few things, but it wasn't really a thing yet.
Yeah, totally. They also had that what is that website where you could cheat on your wife? Holly Madison.
Oh,
no, that's a Playboy.
Ashley Madison.
Ashley Madison, yes.
That was so good. That
was a good one.
documentary.
I wish I was around for that. I would have. I'm getting to that point where Ashley Madison's kind of probably going to be my thing.
I mean, you're young.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
When I was your age, I was stealing potatoes in Australia.
That is a
With
good story, though.
A man who looked like a
yeah, what did he look like?
The first time I met him, he walked into the bar I was working at, and he looked really cool. He kind of looked like Mick Jagger, like kind of like old, but like
okay.
weathered,
Yeah, like,
haggard.
I've seen some shit.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like, you know, he had this like school jacket on from like Harvard, like, you know, like he was very
He
snob.
stole off a student.
Yeah, like he was like, oh, you know, like the Oxford stripes. It was like some sort of European like Ivy League jacket. Then when I agreed to go on a date with him, he was wearing a Cosby sweater.
Oh.
And I was so embarrassed.
Oh, so he's now he's a funky con artist.
Yeah, he just didn't really have taste. So
Yeah.
I like accidentally saw him look cool. But by the time, you know,
And you're young.
second date, I was already like swooning.
Yeah.
Because I had only dated like young guys. Like
Yeah.
I thought it was so cool he knew about wine.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like I wanted someone who
Like, what's this guy, sommelier? It's like,
yeah, and like we would walk into a restaurant. Like I remember we went to Tavern on the Green.
ooh.
And we got there in New York, in Central Park, like very popular restaurant, very, you know, fancy touristy. But we got there and he asked the woman, he was like, you know, table for two. They're like, we have no tables. And I went to the bathroom and when I came back, I swear to God, he was kissing her hand and she was like, right this way, sir, and sat us by the fountain.
Oh, my
And
God.
I know he didn't have money. So I don't
Wow.
know how he would get people to do things for him. And I don't know how. And it was always like older ladies.
There's a reason they call them con artists.
Right.
Because there's art in that. To sway
truly,
someone's mind like that.
Truly.
It's kind of a really sick thing to be able to do. Unless you're doing it to, you know, young women. But
Well, it definitely turned me on.
yeah, no, I mean, you had a blast. 6 months of pure fun in Australia. I suppose a whirlwind even.
I even talked my mom into paying for us to come back to America because we had used all of our money. And then this was great because I was like, okay, Mom, and I lied. I said, I just need my flight. It's $2,000. And so she gave me $2,000. And I was like, okay, Alex, I can get us both tickets back to America from Australia. And he's like, what? We're not stopping in Koh Samui? And like he was so mad that we weren't going to stop in Thailand. And he's like, I am not. And then we would go and then
It's basically free. That's all
so
anyone
then
says about Thailand.
we went to Thailand and then I remember he would be like, what? We don't have a bungalow right on the ocean? He would just get so mad if he didn't get like the best thing.
Goodness.
But he didn't want to pay for it.
Oh, are you sure?
I would pay for it. Or
Are you sure your daughter's not his? I wasn't sure how that one was going to go. Thank you for laughing.
But I will say, I met that guy before I started stand-up, and I
Yeah.
do feel like I took a little bit of him with me on stage.
Oh, I love that.
And so
he wasn't good for nothing anyways.
Exactly.
Yeah, he brought something good out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny that you can come full circle now. You have a beautiful family and you work really hand in hand with your husband, and we're working on your daughter. She's a little bit of a snob, but one day we'll get there. And I don't like, how do you balance it all?
I don't.
Yeah, you can't.
I mean, sometimes I'll like make a list of like 10 things that I really want to do in a day, every day.
Yeah.
And I keep it by my like fireplace. And sometimes I'll glance at it throughout the day and be like, okay, well, at least I did those 4 things.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
huge.
Because like every day I want to exercise and play tennis. I'm not saying I want to do this every day.
Yeah.
Do stand up.
Something new.
Read with my daughter for 20 minutes. Meditate. Like there's just so many things that make me feel good that, you know, are so easy to just forget about.
Yeah.
So I think trying to think about the things that you really want to do that make you feel good, and just making sure you can hit a bunch of them every day as much as you can.
That's huge, and that's smart to keep a list, because it's so easy to just do what you have to do and not what brings you joy, as corny as that sounds. Yeah.
And then when you look at the list, you kind of feel good. You're like, oh, I did like 4 of those things today.
Yeah, right? It's good stuff. I'm going to start taking lists. Are you an Adderall person?
I have definitely taken Adderall, but only because a friend with a prescription gave it to me. We were trying to like finish a writing deadline.
Oh, okay, so you're just
But I liked it.
free balling this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was definitely fun.
I just need it, and sometimes it doesn't
Oh, you're
even
on
work.
Adderall?
Oh, yeah.
So why do people say when they're like, oh, but it actually slows me down? Are you one of those people like Adderall actually doesn't make you speedy?
It doesn't make me speedy. It, if anything, it'll just get my not today apparently, but it'll usually help my thought process and like the way I speak and the way I get things done. I guess like the list is in my head that you make, and I can like organize it. If not, it's scatterbrained, and
It's like good if you like to party while you make to-do lists. Right?
Absolutely.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah, I've kind of got like a smooth brain going on.
But it really does activate something.
Something's there.
I would love to take it.
I take it like an antidepressant, actually. And see, that's where people call it addiction, but it's prescribed. So,
it'd be fun to do a podcast on Adderall, actually.
oh my God, yeah.
Is that what we're doing right now?
That's what there is one half of us doing Adderall podcasting live in the flesh. And I think I'm going to have to up the dose because you can't even tell. But you kind of touched on this, but not really. Did your daughter roast you?
Not yet.
No?
She's kind of like understanding what a joke is.
Okay. That's
She's
the
not
fun stage.
Exactly sure, but she does like funny wordplay. She's very verbal.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she sounds smarter than I already.
She really is.
Yeah, I can tell.
She's awesome.
Yeah. This segment's called Jokes in My Notes. Basically, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I've been having each guest kind of go through their notes app, if that's where you keep your jokes, and see if there's a premise there that you've either left alone or won't use.
You want me to go through it?
If you want to.
This is what I hate. You pull out your phone and then you're like,
I know, right?
the vortex. Okay, let me look at my notes. Hold on. I hate the notes app because half of it is me trying to figure out how to stand up to this person who's harassing me. And then the other part is joke premises.
Yeah.
So I have to sit here and try to decipher which is
bunch
which.
of giraffes of you trying to stand up for yourself. Yeah, no, I get that.
I wanted to do a joke about how, like, as you enter perimenopause, you kind of look around and you are very confused with your choices, like, because you're just kind of like, what? And part of it is, as you get older, the estrogen leaves your body, and another word for estrogen is tolerance. And then one of the things, and if you look up the symptoms of perimenopause, it's so horrifying. It's like every single bad thing you can think of. But then someone just told me recently, one of the things they have from it is burning mouth syndrome.
Oh, what the fuck?
So I wanted to do a little research on that.
That's good. I like that. That's a great angle right there.
Sounds pretty crazy, right? Burning mouth syndrome. I mean,
Is that where you just can't stop telling people how much you can't stand them anymore? It's like, oh, sorry, I'm burning mouth syndrome.
yeah, I don't know. I haven't gotten around to looking it up.
That's good. I really like that.
I think it's funny. And also, Grace, you have been graced with the quality of not only do you say funny things, but you say things funny.
Oh, thank you.
And that is a very important thing for a comedian. So I don't know. I think you can pull a lot off.
My favorite thing about your set and just you in general is the way you talk. So to hear you say that is huge. It's like it makes the jokes sound so classy, elegant, and like just off the cusp. And I like you could be saying like toilet water, but the way you say it, it's like it's.
I'm glad you say that.
It's hard to explain.
Sometimes I'll hear someone and I'm like, is that me? And it's like the Kardashians. Because I feel like I've lived in LA too long that I kind of have like California speak.
I don't really pick up on that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, it's
I
like
definitely think I sound like Khloe Kardashian or something.
I don't care unless you want to sound like that. I'm gonna tell you the truth right now. I don't think you sound like that at all. No, I think you've got like a very great way that you enunciate. It's that's a weird compliment to give to somebody, I suppose. Hey, listen, I'm learning. I grew up Irish Catholic. We don't express good emotions very well, but I am thrilled to have you on. And I have one last question.
Okay.
What is your usual walkout song or current walkout song?
Well, my current walkout song is this song called Heated by Beyonce, because she's like Coco Chanel, and I just like coming out to like all the brand names.
That's good.
I thought it was kind of funny.
I really like that.
But I have to say, I feel very much like everyone, obsessed with Chaperone, and so I'm really listening to like her new album. So I feel like there's got to be something in there
That's
that
good.
I would like. But also, it just depends, like I used to come up to like Don't Want No Short Dick Man. Like every season I'll hear
It's always something new, yeah.
that I think will be funny. And then, but I always want them to play it at the end too.
Yeah,
So-
you start at the top and then play it at the end to walk out.
Yeah, like I have this joke right now where I'm making fun of Kids Bop. And so, do you know about that? You know about Kids Bop?
yeah.
So you're like, I listened to it 10 years ago.
Who do you think was on the track?
But they have one for WAP.
Oh wow,
The Cardi B song. It's called Wings and Pizza. And so I always want
As
them
it
to play that at the end of my set. You just
That's
kind of
good.
play around and
I like that.
see what'll be funny.
That's funny. I just wanted to thank you so much, and
Thank you. This was really fun, and you're doing a great job. And
thank
I like
you very
your.
much. That's the mom in you.
You really
That's
are.
really sweet. That's a nice way to say it.
You're so funny.
Do you have you want to promote your podcast or where?
Yes, listen to our podcast, the Endless Honeymoon Podcast. We also have a secrets hotline. You can call us and leave your deepest, darkest secrets, and me and my husband and some famous comedians will make fun of them. We'd love to have you on. Now that you're famous.
I think I'm going to call in like unironically and ask a few questions. I'm going to have to hide my voice. I'll do like a voice translator or something. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I don't know how to close these. Thank you.